I give over the mic to Tabby and scowl at her because she got the interview.
Does anybody understand what he's saying?
Do you want to hear my real accent?
Yes. Is it more indecipherable?
Well, yeah, man, right now on stage we've got Felicia there. Everyone give a big cheer like now. It's a Geordie accent. Who's a Geordie? Really? All together on three, we'll say, why I man. 1, 2, 3, why I man. There you go, you've learned a phrase.
I love it.
Okay, you can have it back now.
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
What's a Geordie?
Yeah, Geordie. Wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming here
I'm glad that we didn't sit on any of the chairs. We're sitting very close.
We're
This
like
is our
sisters
interview
now.
right here.
I've got to say, I am so nervous right now. Of everyone I've interviewed today, you're like, isn't she amazing? Like,
Thank you.
I mean, you've done writing, you've done acting, you're a producer, but more than that, I think genuinely you are a role model, like for so many people out there, not just me, right?
Thank you. That's very sweet to say. Thank you. It's never. No one ever sets out to be a role model, hopefully, because that seems like a jerk thing to do.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud to represent something that encourages other people to be themselves. It was completely accidental, I promise.
So what do you, what is that? Is that feedback from this mic?
I think there's a disco going on next door.
Oh, okay. What do you feel is more you currently? Are you an author? Are you a writer? Are you a producer?
I'm a mother who can't sleep, whose baby's trying to murder her. I think she is, guys. I think this baby, she's not even a baby anymore. She's 16 months. She needs to be out of the house already. I don't understand why she's still hanging around. She still has me wipe her butt. I think it's a conspiracy. She's just being very naughty. No, she won't sleep. So all I don't sleep anymore. And then I go and I act. I've been doing a lot more acting this year. And I just basically have just resolved myself to my face falling off my, my skull from lack of sleep. So it's her fault. At one point I will have to be only an author because I won't have a face on my skull anymore from fatigue.
Do you think she's teaching you more than you've learned in any other job that you've done?
I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, but that's Felicia Day way. I'm just like, oh, that looks fun, and I'll go, what kind of water? It's boiling water. Why am I in water? That's drowning. Bye. So, no, I love it. I love her. It's just, I really loved sleep. I was one of those people who used to say, oh, I only got 8 hours. I'm just so bitchy today. And now I'm like, I got 2 hours sleep. Yes. Anyway. But I'm doing a lot more writing and acting this year because I'm not doing as much business stuff, which is good. Other people can handle that. I'm very happy about that.
Any future projects that you're working on currently that you can tell us?
Well, I have like 5 or 6 projects that I can't talk about that are in all the works, but I'm doing I'm doing a podcast now.
I saw. Who saw it on Twitter?
Yeah, some people, Felicitations, which is super fun. And I'm doing the new Mystery Science Theater 3000 season, which is really exciting. And I have a couple of shows that might have me back in the fall that I can't talk about. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. Magicians, do you guys watch The Magicians here? Yeah, it's a really good show. If you guys, I was on that, I did 3 episodes of that, and I'm really hoping to be back this season. So I have a lot of different projects happening, but always being tired doing them. So I'll have to get one of those facelifts, and they'll be like, hi, I'm Felicia Day. And people will say, what'd she do with her face? And I'll be like, I don't know, stop it. Make it go back. Anyway.
I really love listening to your podcast. It's like we get insight of who you are. What made you think of doing a podcast in the first place?
Because I missed doing all my internet videos, but I didn't want to do my hair. So I was like, how can I not do internet videos anymore, but still do what I used to do and not do my hair? So audio was the natural thing because I have hair for audio. When I have to do my hair, I'm annoyed. I'm genuinely annoyed. Like this morning, I was just curling and I was just like, God, cursing. I'm sure there's some babies out there, so I won't actually say the F word, but
Family-friendly show. Yeah.
Family-friendly show. But inevitably, when I curl my hair, I'll burn my face, and then I just swear more. So the podcast, I don't have to do anything. I don't even bathe. When you listen to my podcast, I am unbathed and uncurled, and I might be naked. I'm not sure.
They're going to watch more now.
They'll listen, but they won't know what's going on. It's the perfect thing about a podcast. Anyway.
When I was stalking as well, I also saw that you got really excited about the royal wedding.
I was so excited, you guys. No, for real, I knew a couple people who were at the wedding, Gina and Janina, two friends, I guess, of, Megan's. And I don't know her, but I was like, we're pretty much the same. Like, why are we not friends? And I was genuinely upset about this because I know a lot of actors, and I was like, how do we miss each other? Why aren't we besties? Why am I not there? I look so good in hats. I don't understand why I know two people who are there. I never auditioned for Suits, but what if we had it? We would have been best friends. Why wasn't there a role for me? I'm going to fire my agent. They ruined everything for me.
Did your friends bring you back a gift or anything?
No, they're not really friends. They're acquaintances. Like, we're not just besties. I mean, we follow each other on Twitter. Is that a friendship? Probably not.
So if I get you something, would we be besties?
What? I'm not that cheap.
You can go back now. You can go back now.
If you go back time. Oh my gosh. What is that?
We saw that you tweeted about royal wedding stuff.
I tweeted a picture. Somebody got me a keychain, but this is so much better.
I just wanted to come on stage and take the credit for this because I did all the shopping.
You did the shopping? It was hard to find, wasn't it?
And whose idea was it?
It's a limited edition.
Walk off.
This is amazing. Oh my God, there's a spoon in here?
Yeah?
This is the first spoon in my spoon collection. Oh my, what else is in here? Is it a mug? You've got to be kidding me. I'm not kidding, guys. Last time I was here, it was the birth of the middle kid. What is the middle kid's name? What's his name? What? Yeah, the middle kid's name. Charlotte. Yeah, okay. Charlotte. It was the birth. I was here 2 weeks after she was born, and I have a mug that I use when I'm streaming video games. I drink from that all the time. It's a commemorative mug to her birth, but this is the new streaming mug, guys. It's so elegant. It has a fancy bottom.
It's a teacup.
It's a tea. Can I drink coffee out of it? Is that cool?
Yeah, go on.
I don't want to violate any rules.
No, you can drink coffee.
They're so pretty together. Oh my gosh, you guys are lucky. You got a new Duchess. And we are never going to be friends now. Because I could have been on Suits, but now she's not on there. So anyway, thank you so much. Can I have this?
Of course,
is mine,
it's yours.
right?
You can take it.
I was going to take it anyway.
Yeah, it's yours. Well, I'm going to throw questions, I think, to the audience now, because, I'm guessing you guys are dying to talk to Felicia. Yeah? Raise your hand up really high.
Okay, anybody have a question? And don't ask me about my inappropriate... Is it appropriate to do this? It's not appropriate, right? I'm violating a bunch of codes.
She can't see. She can't see.
She can't see it. She knows it's platonic.
Do you want us to cut out a photo of your face and stick it over Megan?
I don't know what you're ever saying.
Would one like us to cut out a picture and put it on the bag?
You want to cut my picture out and put it right here on the bag? Okay, that's my fantasy. So I'm going to Photoshop me just kind of creeping over her shoulder.
Is that meme with the
Just
good girl?
photobombing like... I'm going to do that, actually. Look for it on my Twitter.
You'll have to put that in the podcast.
Did anyone have a question, actually? We have one person in the back here.
Do you want to take my mic?
Oh, they cut you off because they want you to take elocution lessons.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, Felicia.
Hey.
You've been such a lifelong geek, and you've seen the rise of geek culture, and you've shaped it to the way it is now. So, where do you see geek culture evolving in the future, or where do you hope it to be?
That's a good question. As a monolith, I feel like geek culture is so big now, it permeates every part of the world. And what I would love is that more things like tabletop gaming and board games and other things that people say are niche will be more popular. The best thing, the most exciting thing to me is when you see comic books and people are buying the independent ones and ones with women protagonists and more of the indie graphic novels versus the traditional superhero comics, because we're able to celebrate a lot of different voices versus only the ones that we used to celebrate. And I think that's wonderful. There should be something for everyone. Just because there's more choice doesn't mean they're taking away from anybody who used to be the ones in charge. And that's what I think we should always know in our hearts, that the more that we're introduced to different things in this life, the richer we are and the richer the world is. And so I hope that even if somebody's not geeky, quote unquote, they'd be willing to sit down and play a board game with someone and learn about each other's hobbies. Because it's really fun. It's the best. I mean, I don't like talking to people. I want them to come to my house and play a board game. I mean, I don't want to go out or do my hair. It's all about my hair, really. Anyway, yeah, it's very exciting to see an audience full of women and kids and dads with their daughters. And I love it because that means that it's a legacy that will be passed on generation to generation, and everyone will be easy. It will be easier for people to accept themselves and accept others for their differences. And I think that's wonderful.
Question over there?
Yeah, thanks.
Hello.
So I'm a big fan of Geek and Sundry board games. So one question, I love tabletop, so is there any chance that it's going to be coming back?
Yes. Tabletop is a show that I created with Will Wheaton, and it was for my company. And we did 4 seasons, and it's really up to Will and his schedule whether we do more or not. He's really busy working on a bunch of TV shows, but I'm really hoping, because honestly, I get my board games from Tabletop. I always get his tips, and then I'm always like, hey, I found this new game. It's really Will that found it, but if he wants to do the dirty work, I will let him. So I can't promise anything, but I would say that I really hope that we get to do more in the future. Oh, you got cut off. Nope, still cut off.
We can't hear
Hello.
you.
There we go. I'm to your left here. Not a question here.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Felicia.
Hello.
Almost a follow-on from that, and also we've already heard about your hair woes, but is there any chance you might want to come back to internet content yourself? That's where I recognise you mostly from. I love the Guild, I love the Flog, and is there any chance of seeing any more of that co-optitude, anything like that again in the future?
Thank you for asking. So I kind of cut back on all the videos that I was doing because I kind of stepped back after I had my baby, and I said I can either have a baby and be a creator, or I can do a baby and a company and videos. And so I decided to kind of minimize the business part of my life because I just couldn't do everything. I was kind of breaking at the seams. If any of you read my book, you know that I get overwhelmed pretty easily when I'm running a company and maybe not sleeping ever again in my life. So I would love to revisit it in the future, and I would particularly love to create another show like The Guild, which I wrote and I produced and I starred in. That really is my goal, to do something like that again, and that's really where my focus is right now. It's just creating something takes a lot more time than I can do to do all the smaller internet videos. But as soon as I get over that creative hump, I would love to go back to doing it more. Because I love reading comments about how crappy my hair looks online. You suck. You can't play video games. I love you. That's what I kind of miss about internet videos.
Sorry, lady in the green jacket, let me just get to you.
Mosh pit.
Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to say you're really inspirational. I wanted to know if you had any advice, because in your book you talk a lot about overcoming anxieties, and I wondered if you had any advice for people who want to create geeky things like you do about overcoming anxieties and issues in order to be able to do what they want to do.
Yeah, her question's about overcoming anxiety and getting into creativity and making things. And I talk a lot about that in the book that I wrote, which was kind of a memoir, but every single chapter I designed so that someone would be able to take something away from it. And a lot of it was about overcoming, mental illness, really, which I had. I mean, I continue to have an anxiety problem, but I've worked on it so much over the years that it's a lot more manageable for me. It flares up sometimes when I'm in high-pressure situations or I feel overworked or overwhelmed, and a lot of my life has been kind of paring down to make things manageable so that I can handle them a little bit more. And I guess my best advice is to realize that you have a problem, because sometimes you don't even know. You don't know why you can't go out and try that, thing that you've always wanted to try, or overcome the fear to try to create something, or even go out to a party that you really don't want to. You feel so much anxiety that you don't even know that it's anxiety that's preventing you from trying something new. And so I would encourage you to kind of deep dive into yourself and realize what's kind of ruling you that isn't you. It's these external things that are the anxiety or depression or these external pressures you put on yourself, And then once you see it, you could start to chip away at it. And you could chip it away at it by seeking help. I did a lot of therapy and talked to somebody for many years, and it really helped. I did a lot of journaling, which really helped as well. And I forced myself inch by inch to get out of my comfort zone and try new things and put myself in environments that were very stressful. Obviously, as a public figure, I've been thrust into things. Like even doing this 5 years ago would have given me a lot of anxiety. But because I've sort of acclimated myself to it, I guess what is the worst thing that could happen? I was always afraid of it, and then when I embraced the fact that I would just let it happen if it happened, it really was a freedom. Because no matter what happens in life, you can deal with it. You can overcome it. Worst case scenario, you can overcome it, or you don't have any control over it, so why not try anyway? And I guess that conclusion really led me to trying new things, like starting a business or, you know, even writing a web series when no one said that it was a good idea, or like trying, you know, literally everything I've ever done was because somebody else told me not to do it, and even though I was scared, I did it anyway because I had to do it or I would regret it. And not to go on, but I lived with a lot of regrets in my life, and I think a lot of it was that I was so paralyzed that I didn't want to make a mistake. And I realize that now, especially having a baby, I realize that any mistake I did in my life is fine because it led me to this place where I could have this baby in my life and this world and this life, and every mistake was just as legitimate a stone to step on to get here as every success. So it doesn't matter if you fail. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. It doesn't matter if you stick your foot in it. You needed to do that to get to the next step, to where you really want to be. And so that's what my best advice.
I love that answer. Over Alice?
Yeah. Hi. So with Critical Role having become the massive phenomenon that it is, and you being so crucial in sort of starting it,
Yeah.
What made you think that Dungeons and Dragons would be something that people would want to watch? And could you have imagined sort of the popularity of D&D streaming on Twitch that has sort of grown out of that risk that you took at the start?
Yeah, that's a good question. Since I was a kid, I wanted to play D&D. We always had books around, but my mom was convinced it was satanic, which is insane. Yeah. Did your mom do that too? Yeah. These moms are crazy. Exactly. Moms in the 80s were crazy. Anyway, but about 10 years ago, when I first started doing the guild, actually, I was in a D&D group with a bunch of improv actors that were friends of mine. And I would drive an hour each way every Sunday, and I would make brownies, and we would play. And it was a 5-year campaign, really. It was even before, it was around Buffy time that I started doing it, and I loved it so much that I always wanted to do a D&D role-playing game show on Geek and Sundry. And when I first started Geek and Sundry, when I called Will Wheaton up to do tabletop, my pitch to him was that he would be a dungeon master, and he would DM instead of doing tabletop games like he did. So for many years I tried to do Dungeons & Dragons, but we didn't really have the funds or the idea that maybe doing a tabletop-like show would be good for D&D. And so when I started streaming Twitch by myself, just playing video games, I found it such a wonderful place for community building if you police the comments and everything, that I wanted my company to do it. So I started the Twitch channel, and I said, number one, we have to do D&D, and a friend of mine asked Ashley Johnson, who's an actress who's in the Whedonverse, she has friends who play with her who are voice actors, and I think that we should just get them and put them on because they're already a group and they already have chemistry. And everyone told me it was a stupid idea, just like they told me tabletop was a stupid idea. It was too long for YouTube, and nobody likes board games and blah, blah, blah. And every time somebody tells me no, I'm like, oh, I'll show you. Oh, I'll show you. So I can't claim any more credit than giving opportunity to a very, very incredibly talented DM in Matt Mercer and incredibly talented voice actors and actors in all the players. But I'm very, very heartened, and I think it's wonderful if they have helped anybody put role-playing games into their life, because I've loved them for so many years. And I'm kind of jealous because I wish I had just shoved myself in the group from the beginning. Lesson learned.
CJ, your mic working?
Yes, here we go. Lady here.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to hear another American accent around here.
I know there are a lot of them, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
So one thing that I found that kind of unites a lot of geeks and nerds is that we need a recharge time. You know, we need to sit down, ignore humanity, play a video game, read a book, whatever you do. So I'm wondering what it is that you do to recharge from social interactions.
Oh my God, I need it so bad. I'm not kidding. I woke up at I was woken up at 3 in the morning last night, and then I'm trying to get back to bed for 2 hours, because when I wake up, I can't go back to sleep, and I was like, what if I put a nice padded chair in a small closet? And if I just sat in that chair for 2 to 3 days, I might feel better. I really have a hard time when I go out and I have to be on and I have to be taking care of the baby all the time. It's draining, it really is, and I'm a very introverted person actually, and my favorite thing to do is just go and play a video game by myself for a couple hours without streaming it, or like read a book in a corner, or go to a coffee shop and just like put headphones in and just write in my journal. So I have to catch little glimpses of it because my life is very public, but honestly, the last thing I ever want to do is go to a party for fun. Like, that is the last thing. Like, you couldn't pay me to go to a party. I gotta do my hair. I'm not doing it. Bottom line, no hair. Bottom line, that's why I never go to premieres. I got invited to fancy premieres all the time. I'm like, do I have to do my hair? Do I have to get a dress? No, absolutely not. I'm staying home. So I just turn down opportunities that I know will drain me versus charge me up. And I'm very, very careful about, I used to not be careful about it. I used to do whatever, and that's why I was so depressed and anxious all the time. So I guess part of getting old is just saying no to things. Especially parties, or just hair making things. I don't know. Okay, next question.
Can I just ask something quickly?
No.
Because you talked about books.
Poops?
Books. He means books.
I'm going to have to talk very slowly.
I swear to God you said poops.
That would be a different type of stream.
Okay.
Talking about books.
It sounds like poops.
Yep. You talk about doing a baby voice. Can you release a podcast where it's just you reading a story with your baby voice that you use?
Oh my God. Oh, but my baby voice? Oh, in my podcast?
Yeah.
It was like, I go, I am a bunny. My name is Nicholas. I live in a hollow tree. And then she'll go to sleep and I'll go, I'm gonna murder all the animals in the forest. Everyone's going to die in a fire. Oh my goodness, look at that squirrel. That squirrel's running in terror. He's running in terror.
Please record this.
Yes.
Record it. Who else wants to hear that
creepy.
as a podcast?
All right, I'll start like reading like Freddy Krueger scripts in that
Lord
voice.
of the Rings, yeah.
Please don't kill me.
50 Shades. Imagine that.
Ooh, that would not be erotic.
I'll download it. I'm not going to lie.
Next.
Hello. One of the first things I saw you in was Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Yes? That was a good one.
Is there ever going to be a sequel?
I mean, I'm not responsible for them. Don't spread any rumors. I will tell you it's our 10th anniversary this summer, which is a little bit traumatic. And I'm hoping that we have a reunion panel somehow, somewhere. But I can't guarantee anything because everyone's very busy and fancy now, including me. Not really. That is one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and I can't describe to you. If you haven't seen it, it's a musical with Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, and me, and it's directed by Joss Whedon and written by him and Marissa and Jed and Zach Whedon, who now run Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and other TV shows and everything like that. But Joss did it because of the writer's strike and because everyone was telling him don't do anything for the internet. And it became a huge phenomenon, and the songs are so great. And we just did it like in our backyards. And I love that spirit of, to me, creativity is about wanting to share something for the joy of it versus like trying to get something from it. And if you become a creator in any format and do it only for the success, you're going to be very disappointed because you can make a lot more money being a hedge fund manager. I hope Calliope becomes a hedge fund manager, my baby. But I think that it's really important to sign up for the daily work of being creative. And if you have that joy in you, find an outlet for it. There's literally no downside to it. Nobody will see it, that's fine. At least you're getting it out of you. And that's what I love about Dr. Horrible. It really had that sort of quality to it that everyone's just putting on a show in their garage. And I don't know who's gonna watch it, but we're gonna love it no matter what, and it's gonna be great because we love it, not because everyone's praising it. And so I think that that's the best spirit of anything I try to keep in my heart with everything I do. So I can't say there's going to be a sequel, but that was a really nice thing to say about it, right? Yeah. Good question. Good question.
Okay. Anyone on this side that I can get to? Right, I'm going to try and squeeze.
Oh, no.
You know, a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Yeah.
See, they've watched it. They've got the reference.
While CJ finds someone to ask a question, I'm over here, and I'm going to ask a question myself.
Okay.
So my first exposure to you, that sounds really weird.
You exposed yourself to me?
Apparently I did, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember that. Was Dragon Age 2.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Age.
I love you as Talis.
Oh, thank you.
And I just kind of, like, I remember seeing you cosplaying a character that you play, and it was like cosplayception.
Yeah, it was cosception.
Yeah.
Placentation. Placentaception.
Placenta?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Keep going.
What's it like working on Dragon Age?
It was amazing. You know, the way that came about was they asked me if I would do like a short, and then I wrote and then I said, great, I'll write an hour, they actually said, why don't you invent a character you want to play? So I actually created Talis myself. I said I wanted to be a rogue. I wanted to play a rogue because I wanted to stab things, and of course I wanted to be an elf because why would you not want to be an elf? And then I thought, with the Dragon Age lore, the most interesting part that I didn't know enough about was the Qunari, which are kind of aliens from space, but they're in a sort of Game of Thrones world. So I thought, well, there's some interesting lore about elves being servants of the Qunari, or converts to the Qun. Anyway, so I wrote about that, and then I wrote an hour, 6-part web series, and then I did all the motion capture for the DLC they did, which is the first and I think only time any game company has done that, which is really cool. And although we were a little ambitious with the budget and what we had to work with for the 6 parts, I was really proud of the script, and it literally was a dream come true to be inside the lore of one of my very favorite games in the DLC. And there's a lot of really funny stuff in that DLC too, so if anybody missed it, definitely check it out.
Definitely check out the DLC. It is my favorite DLC of any game.
Yeah, it's really well. David Gator, the creator of Dragon Age himself, wrote all the dialogue, so you could really tell that it was very faithful to his vision.
Okay, I'm just
Did you
across
get over
here
there?
now.
Yeah.
I've managed to make it.
You did it.
Hiya.
Hiya.
First things first, I can probably send you a royal wedding shortbread tin if you really want one.
Wait, what? A shortbread tin?
Yeah.
Ooh, you tempt me.
I'll send it when I get home.
You saucy vixen. Okay, good.
And in Supernatural, we know Jared plays pranks on everyone. Did he play any pranks on you, and what was like the best/worst?
You're asking about Supernatural. Yes, Jared and Jensen are known for playing pranks on everyone. I have to say, they're from Texas, and I'm from Texas too, and they're very respectful of ladies. So I never really got pranked, although every time I see Jared, there's a joke, because I hug really weird. I don't find it appropriate for pelvises to touch when we hug, because I thought it might be suggestive or like invasive to a man's nether regions. So whenever I hug, I just kind of like this, and whenever he sees me, he's like, "Oh, hey, Felicia." And he makes fun of the way I hug, which is not appropriate. But other than that, he never did pranks on me. I never realized they did pranks until I was on the set for one of my episodes in season 10 where Misha was playing. It was the first time I ever played with Misha. And literally the whole time we were doing our scene together, Jared was behind Misha doing a wet willy in his ear. Ew. And then he gave him a wedgie, and then Misha, but he's on camera. So whenever you see Misha Collins acting in Supernatural, just know there is a man giving him some weird prank with his body. He's literally the best actor I've ever met in my life. There's no way I could keep a straight face with somebody sticking a wet finger in my ear. I would be gagging. Anyway, it's pretty funny. But then, no, they never play the prank on me. They just make fun of me a lot, which is cute. It was teasing. It was just teasing.
Alice?
Yep.
Following on from when you were talking about Dr. Horrible, I wanted to ask one incredibly serious question, which is, who's your favourite, Neil Patrick Harris or Nathan Fillion?
Why would you ask that?
Because I'm mean.
I mean, that's like, what's your favorite, peanut butter or chocolate? You have to be Satan to say one over the other. They're both equally, okay, some people are allergic to peanut butter, so obviously they would be an auto no on the peanut butter. I mean, that's the same thing, like, are you a Dean or, are you a Jensen or Jared girl? And I'm like, no, I can't answer that. They're all manly men. who love to envelop you in hugs that smell like spice and leather. Neil is a little bit more patchouli. But other than that, they're all amazing actors who are just incredibly respectful and awesome. And by the way, I was in Shoreditch yesterday. I ran into Nathan Fillion on the street. What? And I am not kidding you. We did not know each other. We were in London. It was the weirdest coincidence I've ever had in my life. I was just like, what? Anyway, he's not here anymore.
Well, hello.
Oh, what up?
Hi, I'm back
Oh,
here.
there you
Hi.
are.
I'm doing some shopping, but I've also got a question.
Hiya. You talked about your involvement with the Whedonverse. You've done so much work with Joss and Jed and Marissa. I really loved your work in Dollhouse, especially. That was one of my favorite shows while it was on.
Thank you.
While Joss was at the helm of the Avengers, was there any talk of you being in the MCU, and might we see you on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anytime soon?
Wow, I like these questions. No, I think there was a rumor that I was going to play a character that he created with green hair. I forgot her name. Damn it. Anyway, but it was a rumor, and it was even on IMDb, and I wish it had been true, but it's not. I would love to be on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They just got picked up for another couple seasons, so if I were to have the opportunity, it would be wonderful. But you know, as somebody who's a writer and a producer too, I understand how you just have to have the perfect actor for the role that you need. So creating a role is a little bit harder, and you know, if I ever got the opportunity, I would love it. I would love to just be able to wear a wig of a really weird color, green or white, or you know, I would love flames to shoot out my eyeballs. I would love to be able to breathe toxic venom on people. I'd love to have really weird toenails that grow, and I'd be able to climb up buildings. I'd love to have Velcro body. Is there a specific superhero that fits those specs? Nope. Okay.
We'll make one.
We'll work on it. Yeah, it's Velcro.
New D&D character.
It'll be new D&D character, exactly. Okay, good. Next question.
Okay, so this is our last question, I think.
Oh, bye.
Right, firstly, I want to say love your hair.
Oh, love my hair, thank you. Oh, nice.
And with regards, you've played a few evil characters recently. How do you feel about playing an evil Penny from an alternate universe to bring her back to life?
How do I feel like about Evil Penny?
From an alternate universe to bring her back to life in Dr. Horrible.
I feel about her coming back to life. Hell yeah. Bring me back to life. If they make a sequel without a little Penny in it, I will be I'll be crying. I'll be a little bit sad. No, I feel like Penny, you know, when I first read the script to Dr. Horrible, I actually cried too when Penny, spoiler alert, passed away. I mean, it's 10 years, guys. That's not a spoiler anyway, right? Anna Karenina did the train thing, all right? Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil the book. Is that true? I never got through it. It's kind of a snoozer. The movie was kind of a snoozer too, but I loved Keira Knightley's hair and her hats. She got some great hats in that movie. But you know, and for a while I just get killed all the time. If anybody knows my work, they know I get murdered all the time. And I try to not be depressed about it. I try to just say it's a compliment. You only murder somebody you like. But that's not true. So, you know, that's how I survive my anxiety. I rationalize a lot. But it would be really cool if they did any kind of follow-up for Penny to be involved, because, like I said, it was one of the best roles I ever played, and it was the best set I've ever been on, because it was like a family. And those are the kind of roles that I limit myself to, you know? Like, I don't just take all the roles that people offer me. I have to know if the show is going to be something that fans like, that has a fan family around it, and that the set is a family. Because to me, everything I do, whether it's just streaming on online or creating a Team Human community of people who get together and enjoy the work that I do and other people's work, everything's about connecting people around something. And I think that's kind of part of the definition of geekdom and why I love being here so much. So thank you very much. I hope to meet all of you, and it's been an awesome week.
That was a great ending. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the one. They turned me. Oh no, they haven't. The only Felicia Day.